Parish family, as we approach this coming Sunday's General Assembly, I wanted to just offer a couple thoughts, really. Half of them are sort of logistical, and a few of them are spiritual. And so I actually have a list I'm going to read off. But please listen to this to the end because it has a lot of important content. And I want everyone to be kind of apprised before the General Assembly of kind of how it's going to be approached so that nobody's surprised by anything. First of all, every adult in a family that is a steward gets a vote. So for example, if there's a couple, they would get 2 votes. So please know that. You do need to have completed your stewardship pledge for 2024 last year. You also need to become a steward this year, 2025, which means 2 things. One, filling out a form, or better yet, going on realm and pledging for 2025. And also, since we'll be roughly 1 month into the year, we are required, as am I, to fulfill 1/12 of your pledge. So 1/12 of whatever you're pledging needs to have been received by the church. So please be mindful of that. Also, the link to Realm to sign up via Realm, which is preferred, is down below in the notes of this video. Also, please be aware, and this is a kind of a tough one, you do need to be a parishioner in good standing. And there's a couple things that might make it so that you are not in good standing. The biggest ones would be that you are divorced civilly, but have not had your civil divorce sort of recognized by the church. There is a process for that. So if that's you, unfortunately, you wouldn't be eligible to vote this Sunday. The second, probably big reason, is if someone is either living with someone and not married to them, someone of the opposite sex, or civilly married, but you have not had your marriage blessed in the church. Unfortunately, either of those situations would make it so that you were not in good standing in the church. And I will say, with everything I've just said, those things are all easily remedied. So all you got to do is reach out to me and we can remedy those, which I would encourage you to do sooner rather than later. So those are those things. Also, if you are a college student, so anyone over 18 can vote, but everyone needs to be a steward. So if you have a 19-year-old in your house and they want to vote, they can. They would need to become a steward, same as everybody else. They would also need to pledge, same as everybody else. So just be mindful of that. There is a Zoom link. So if you cannot come in person, which I would encourage, but if for some reason you're out of town or you're at home sick, there will be a Zoom option for attending and voting. So please be mindful of that. That link might be in the notes below. Depends on when I get it. If it's not, keep an eye out for future emails that will have it. And then the last 2 things, really. First of all, and I hate to think anyone would even do this, but please don't skip liturgy on Sunday and come to the General Assembly meeting. I would just assume that if you can't come to liturgy, you probably can't come to the General Assembly meeting either, right? So really, liturgy is first. We're not here to General Assembly eyes. We are here to liturgize, right? That's why the church exists. So hopefully nobody will do that. I'm sure that nobody will. And lastly, in the notes below, I've included a link to an akathist hymn. So the akathist hymn is a kind of a poetic form of prayer that the church often uses. And I've included a link to an akathist hymn to our patron saints, Constantine and Helen. You can read it in about 15 minutes. And what I want to do is I want to challenge everyone listening to this to click on that link, and at some point between your watching this video and Sunday's General Assembly, I want to challenge you to pray that akathist hymn to St. Constantine and Helen. Because ultimately that's number one, right? I mean, this parish isn't mine, it's not yours, it's God's, right? Even though the ownership documents might say us, ultimately, God is sovereign, right? Everything belongs to God, and everything really we want to give back to God. We want to do His will. And the best way to discern His will is to pray to Him and to have a relationship with Him. So I hope to see you on Sunday, and may God bless you and yours.